Yo, what's going on, everybody? And what's going on, folks? And I apologize for kind of screaming a little bit out there, but you know what? Welcome to the Deconstructing Topic podcast, where we grab a topic and we deconstruct it the D way. And I'm your legendary host, and my name is David. And welcome to the legendary Deconstructing Topic podcast. Ooh, let's go. We'll definitely make it happen for those people out there. You already know I got a Knicks hat. We're talking New York Knicks. We're talking. I'm still reeling from this championship, from whatever happened. It's not whatever happened. We are the New York Knicks, and we are the NBA 2026 NBA champions. Let's go. Anyways, I'm a little bit. What can I say to you? I'm still reeling. I'm still like processes. I'm still like, wow. I can't believe. And I believe that my New York Knicks at one point in my lifetime, and I just want to even touch bases on a couple of things because it was a beautiful day on Saturday and it started beautiful. And I'm just going to tell you a couple of things off the bat. Shout out to all these Knicks fans out there that did the journey, did the trek. So they mortgaged their house, they quit their jobs. What else? That New York Knicks, knowing New York City, and some of these folks here in New York City. Whether you're born in New York City or not, or in New York or not, hey, listen, come on, J-Lo. Come on, J-Lo. Get that together. As long as you live here, hey, you're a New Yorker. It don't matter where you come from. I think somebody kind of mentioned, based on the logic, that if you're not living in New York or you was not born here or New York City, whatever it is that she said in that interview, then that means that you're not Puerto Rican, J-Lo. But anyways, I digress. That's a whole different topic, but shout out to everybody. You know what I mean? All those Knicks fans that put in the work. You already know some of the notorious, famous known Knicks fan, the Spike Lees and the Fat Joes and the Timmy, the Timmy can. You already know. The dude that goes out with one of those, Jenner, Kardashian people. You already know. But so much to talk about. For sure. Welcome to my legendary podcast, the Deconstructing Topic podcast. I had a trip looking at these videos and even in, how can I say, which I did not talk. No, I did kind of talk about, I don't know. I'm still kind of like, hey, yo, let's go. NBA champions, we are here. I do want to tell a story, a couple of stories here. And it's funny because, where was it? A very endearing sister in arms of mine, who the other day said, you know what? I'm jumping on the Knicks bandwagon. I said to myself, and I've seen a lot of people, ain't no such thing as jumping to the Knicks bandwagon. People know that when there's something special, you know you have to ride the wave, ride the magic carpet, because you know what? This Knicks run and inspires so many people, especially in New York City and throughout the New York State and the tri-state with Jersey. You already know Connecticut. We got a bunch of Knicks fans doing that crazy. You know, Knicks fans are savages. Savages was not a big fan of the destruction, but hey, listen, we got savages, and for those people out there. And there's a endearing sister in arms of mine who said, you know what, I'm jumping the bandwagon and so on. And she laughs and all that. But then I said, you know what's crazy? Because she's always had a knick-knack of saying que tienen que cerrar los New York Knicks. They need to shut this team out. They need to close them. And that was like years ago. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to forgive you one day when the New York Knicks become champion. And she's a New York Yankee fan, so I get it. She's, one of those spoiled Yankee fans, but not necessarily a New York Knicks fan like I am, and I'll talk about that. 1990, let's go. And the fact that she apologized to me, hey, listen, it's the bandwagon, whatever. Okay, I'm sorry, they don't need to shut down. And I said, look, listen, no such thing as a bandwagon. The fact that this person, in the last 3 years, I've gone to Madison Square Garden a couple of times doing the watch party type of thing, have gone out there and crowd surfed with the crazy, savage New York Knicks fan. And I said to myself, hey, sister, don't break a leg out there, We're not a spring chicken. But the fact that her energy in the last 3 years, she has and is officially a goddamn New York Knicks fan. Let's get it and shout out to that sister. Because for years, she just kept on saying the Knicks is gone, shut it down. But yeah, you're over here doing the 34th Street, doing the shopping and all that until once that she started doing the shopping around 34th Street, she started seeing how the Knicks fan and our success in the last 3 years. And she see that the Knicks fans are special and a little bit of savagery in that. But let's make it happen. Let's start with Saturday. And shout out to MD Hussein, who's the Bangladesh viral YouTube person who says my mayor's Muslim, my baker's still Jewish, the Pope is on our side, and the Knicks at 5, and the fact that when you bring these folks from Bangladesh, there's a lot of Bangladesh that I know. I lived in a community with a lot of Bangladesh, and then the fact that you have different people. I myself, Puerto Rican, we'll talk about that. You got the some of the white folks, hey, the black community, the Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, Salvadorian, Central America, South America, globally. Look, New York City's a melting pot. What can you not find in New York City? Regardless, because Mehdi Hassan is kind of right. Hey, listen, my understanding, I believe that he is Muslim. And if you look at current mayor, New York City mayor, Andani, he's Muslim. But the fact that, hey, listen, they're going to enjoy their little, bagel on, little bagel, Jewish bagel. I'm just saying. But the fact that on Saturday, when I woke up early, and I actually headed to the 116th Street Puerto Rican Food Festival. Shout out, to all the vendors, the good people that was out there. That's how I started my day. I started my day Saturday more Puerto Rican than anything. As a matter of fact, my New York City mayor is Puerto Rican. Bagel was Puerto Rican. The Pope is Puerto Rican. And you know what? The whole New York Knicks, who won the championship this year, they all Puerto Rican. Hey, Alvarado, I see you. But the fact is this, it's one of those things where that's what New York City is, and that's what this New York Knicks team was bringing to the with this magic run or determined run or this mission to finally bring a championship after 53 years. And I headed, to 160th Street, El Barrio, you already know. I actually went to 109, and shout out to this local spot, or at least kind of known spot, Cocotazo. They had their little thing going on, Black Party. Did I say Black Party? Yeah, don't want to say Black Party. Hey, come on, man. But Black Party. We had a good time. And the fact that I went there and, feeling the good vibe of the Puerto Rican food, the food, the pernil, or I say lechon, the morcilla, all that, the ensalada de papa, ensalada de codito. You already know we are over here making moves, and there's a vibe, there's an energy that's already setting the tone. The fact that we already doing the Puerto Rican weekend, because Sunday was the Puerto Rican parade. But you know what? The 116th Street Food Festival is where it's at, because you see a lot of people, many people, not just Puerto Ricans, many people who are enjoying the good food and the good labor. Matter of fact, there was a kiosk that was half Puerto Rican, half Colombian, and I tried my best. And I'm going to do a podcast on the festival, what I thought about, what are things that could be done better, because the food is delicious. But there are things that I tend to kind of see. But anyways, that's neither here and there, because we are talking about New York Knicks, and we're talking about that day for me, in my point of view, in my perspective, that we set the tone. The energy was already there. You already know Puerto Rican's energies is crazy energies. Born in Puerto Rico, my energy's off the hook, and many times. I start the morning like that at 3:30 in the morning. Let's go. Let's make it happen. But the fact that the energy was there and there was a vibe in there, I'm going to say that there was like about 20 to 30% people rocking the New York Knicks something. It was just a Knicks affair. We was ready. And I myself, enjoying the adult beverage. In that Colombian place, I actually picked up a nice little turkey. The fact that I went to that festival, not to just network, because I got a podcast. I got to promote my podcast. And I got to meet new people. And I network it with a couple of people, especially in Cocotazo over there at 109 between 1st and 2nd Avenue. But the fact is this. I was just all over the place having my adult beverage. And somewhere down the line, I'm like, damn, I need a little bit of energy. And shout out to Huepa Cafe, Huepa Coffee Company. Pretty good. Woo, so let's get it. So the energy is already vibing. To about 20, 30% people. And I want people to understand where you've been at, the reason why I'm doing this podcast. Because, I want to, we could always talk about, the Knicks. We're going to talk about all that. We are talking about it. But I want people to kind of go back, especially if you're one of those Knicks fans that been through and through watching the New York Knicks just think up the joint. Losing to Michael Jordan in the 90s, Patrick Ewing, slay up, the little fight with the Miami Heat, 1999's NBA Finals that we went there, Patrick got hurt, and we went there against the Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, that same team, not the same players though, it was a long time, but we went there Like, hey, we got here. Did I, as a Knicks fan, did I feel like we had a shot? Hey, I'm a Knicks fan, of course. But where is it in the same confidence as this one? No, no. Because, with all due respect, and shout out to many of the alumni that actually Marcus Camby, Larry Johnson, Latrell, Patrick, Charles Oakley, John Starks, Gerard Wilkins, Gerald Wilkins, I'm sorry. I saw Chris Dudley, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to many of the New York Knicks alums that been there and could have made it and couldn't, climb over that little hump that we have had. We had Carmelo, Carmelo, hey, listen, Carmelo tried to do his work, but again, when you come to a place like New York, the Mecca, it ain't easy to try to get this team to a championship. Because this New York Knicks team and this organization kind of remind me of that kind of person who has all the values that you can to make it, but you just seem to fall short. You make a lot of bad moves, and then you're back in that, hitting the rock bottom in a sense. And that's what the Knicks has been in the last 20 years. We've been chucking, and then something happened. And we signed Jalen Bronson. And I want people to kind of hear as they listen to this podcast, as I was mentioning, is that for those Knicks fans out there who have a lifelong suffering Knicks fan, even if you're 20, 15, 35, 40, 45, 50, 65, 70, 75, whatever your age is, always remember, there's a June 13th. Look at the calendar, let me confirm. I want to go a little bit too crazy. That's correct. June 13th. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. For this little episode with a little mix of everything. What were you doing on June 13th? How did they start it for you? I went to the gym. I went to the gym early at 7:30 in the morning because I know that I got to burn something. I got to burn something. I got to burn some calories. I got to sweat because I'm going to have a long day. My mission to go to the Puerto Rican festival is not just to go there to rep and to support my local shops out there. There's a couple of places. Shout out to Puerto Rican. I'll put the links in the description. I mean, him and I, were trading comments on his page, and I was like, hey, listen, if you start smelling like somebody smelling like Donku, that might be me. That might be my fragrance of the day somewhere, somehow. But the fact is this, that I went on a mission to get some food, eat some good food, and take some food home. I was about to, I had a budget. I'll be honest, I over budget. Hey, shout out to the good food out there. But geez, I did the over budget thing that I'm like, come on. I do kind of regret they didn't pick up a nice dessert. Arroz con dulce, un flan. The heat was crazy. It was hot, and then especially if you got like a lot of stuff. I had, my book bag, my content bag. My New York Knicks had a guayabera. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of beautiful people, men and women over here showing their skins. I'm like, damn, I'm just saying, I got to do content here. I got to promote myself. I can't be carrying stuff like that, over here, being a little bit close to being a little bit of buck naked, The boy needs to promote his stuff. But the fact that on June 13th, I apologize, that's where I was making moves. And you feel it. You feel it. It's up in the air tonight. Every conversation, everywhere you go, everywhere. In that 116th festival was a Knicks talk. A Knicks talk. Everywhere. I think they had a public bathroom somewhere in the park. Even there was having conversation. Everywhere we went. Once again, shout out to Weba Coffee. Give me a nice iced coffee. And listen, and I enjoy my coffee black. No funny stuff. The fact that us Puerto Ricans, and I always tell that story, was telling him the story. I was visiting my family back in Thanksgiving, and we gotta have coffee with everything in the morning. For some reason. I get it. And my aunt is like, oh, get a café con leche, and I'm like, no, dámelo negro. Give it to me black. Again, no funny stuff. She looking at me like, who does that? And I'm like, got a little bit of Americanized here. So shout out to the brother who gave me the iced coffee. And he's looking at me, you sure you don't want milk? Or you want some oat milk? Or you trying to find me whatever alternative that he had? I'm like, no, I just wanted black. Or that sucker like, gloop, 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 gloop. Or iced up like, gloop, 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 gloop. That gave me some energy again. Because, I was working against the elements here. The food, the drinks under me. The fact that I was carrying like 2 bags because I was just racking up on food. Me and my brother, we got to eat that lechon, that morcilla, the pig blood sausage. You already know. For those people who don't eat that out there, hey, I respect that. The morcilla be tasting good. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where the energy was at. And then once I'm done there, I'm like, you know what? Let me get out of here, do the Uber thing once I get home. Shout out to one of my brothers in arms that I told him, hey, listen, I'm going to pick up some morcillas for you. And he dropped me some chili. I'm like, you know what? That will come in handy. Because sometimes I love me some good foods, especially the Puerto Rican, the whole pork and all that. But hey, arroz con gandule. Sometimes you'd be like, hold on. Let me just at least put a little bit of chili on some bread and just pause on the other stuff. And then, that's basically the day. And then that's the time. It's passing, and it's game time. And once again, I'm going to be straight up. As I'm watching the game, I'm already up since like 4 o'clock in the morning. I already had a couple of cocktails in me, more than a couple. I already ate the good food, and it's somewhere third quarter and we losing, and I'm saying to myself, oh, keep up, come on. This happened to me already, come on. And I fall out. And I can hear the game in the background. And I can hear the announcers go, yeah, the New York Knicks. And I'm like, what is going on? And what am I looking? The New York Knicks came back once again, down by whatever digits it is. It didn't matter. I think we would have been down by 3 digits. And I kid. Let's be realistic here. But the perseverance of this Knicks team and the way they play, and it was on Saturday where we are celebrating something with the Puerto Rican food and the culture that extends to all the cultures that are more than welcome to the Puerto Rican parade Sunday. Because you know what's interesting? Last year, so I was born in Bayamón, Puerto Rico. Shout out to Bayamón, and we got a basketball league in Puerto Rico, Baloncesto Superior. Shout out. And the fact that my home team, which I'm a fan of, watching Gallinari, Fernando Borkman, and a couple of other players there, the fact that they won the championship last year, it kind of told me, okay, maybe this basketball thing for me is going to, translate to the New York Knicks in the United States. Local affairs, you already know. It's in the universe, the 5. It's coming. So you kind of feel it, you kind of sense it all the way to see boom, boom, boom. But the fact that this energy was just vibing throughout the city with different people, different cultures, different background, whatever it is, unified. And saluting this New York Knicks team after 53 years. This is not just the New York Knicks. This is a different team. This is a team where people down the line would say, you know what? They inspired me. And again, I want people to understand where I'm giving you your perspective into where I was at in June 13, 2026, how my date started. Because if by all means, if this goes on where we don't get a championship, and I think this team has the great talent, the great heart to make it back to back. But by all means, if we don't, 5, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, us Knicks fans will remember June 13, and we're going to try to remember 2026, where we was at. What did you do when you started the day? What did you eat? What did you drink? What did you pray for? Who was around you? Who was happy? Who was not? How you was feeling? How you was not feeling? The whole thing. And I think this little episode of my podcast not only is a salute to the NBA champions, New York Knicks, but it's more or less of a salute more to thanking the Knicks for giving me a memory of a lifetime. It is up there amongst my favorite championship. Hey, listen, I'm going to spoil your New York Yankees. And I'm going to say spoil because it's more like the 90s. Come on, Nate. Yankees. Let's make it happen. New York Rangers, they got me the Stanley Cup 1994 after 40 years. Interesting, number 11, Mark Messier, the captain of that team. Shout out to him. And somebody said shout out to number 11, Jalen Brunson, the captain of the Knicks, bringing a championship after 53-year drought. Matter of fact, 53, 54 for the New York Rangers in 94. I'm a New York Giants fan. Eli Manning, Victor Cruz, David Tyree, Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan. Where the boys is at? Let's go. My first championship as a sports fan, especially New York Giants fan, but New York Giants, 1990. The 1990-91 season. Shout out to that team, Jeff Hosteller, O.J. Anderson. People are going to say, O.J. Anderson? You sure it's not O.J. Simpson? No, it's O.J. Anderson. That whole team, like I said, LT, Lawrence Tater. But right now, I'm just thinking about this New York Knicks team and what happened on June 13, 2026. Hit the like button. Feel free to comment on where were you on that day when the New York Knicks won the championship. Where were you when you woke up? Where were you throughout the day when you was thinking, let's make it happen? Was there anything in you that said, we got this? Because you know what? I felt it. Being close to many wonderful people, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexican, black folks, few white folks here and there. Everybody. Jewish, Muslims, everybody. Look, Puerto Ricans love their meat. Well, we got a lot of people that we got some of the beans here. Habichuela con arroz. If you don't want the meat, we got you. For those out there who do not eat meat, much respect, because I saw a lot of, so some few people out there. Hey, shout out to you. But guess what? You guys also had Knicks jersey. You had Knicks something. You had that spirit of New York City going in your blood that this is the year and this is the night. Because I'll be honest with you, I would have doubted the Knicks if they would have lost that game. Because San Antonio, if there's one thing about San Antonio, shout out to San Antonio, they let a lot of stuff fall through the cracks, let a lot of leads fall through their fingers. But one could say how much more games one would play for San Antonio to do the same. So we had to end this on Saturday. Please feel free to share with any of your Knicks fan, non-Knicks fan, or whoever it is that just happened to just kind of felt special following the Knicks, watching the New York Knicks play. Shout out to my sister in arms that, no, we not going to shut down the Knicks. But shout out to a lot of people out there. Anyways, this is your boy, the Deconstructing Topic Podcast. Definitely got to do a couple of more podcasts, more in-depth, and shout out to the Knicks in itself and the Knicks players out there and the coaches and the fans. Obviously, we would not be here. Knicks Nation would be here if those Knicks fans out there who went out there to the street, and for the most part, did a lot of good stuff. My understanding, they even helped out some of the sanitation workers pick out the garbage, because that's what we do. The Knicks Nation. They have a little bit of savagery, but for the most part, we are legendary good people because we are part of the greatest city in the world. Let's go Knicks. All right. Peace. Let's go.